Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Mark, aka Omani, if you know some. But I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with another reading for you all. As you can see, these are the decks we're going to be using today, and this will be the order. We're going to start here with our shadow work deck, pull a card, and kind of see um, what the energy is that we're going to be working with today. Maybe get some insight on what the reading will be about. Then we'll go into the Tarot Restless, which is my shadow work deck, and this is the deck I use to navigate, heavier energies and to kind of shed some light on some darker and more shadowy type of energies. And then we'll make our way to the light, and from there we'll go into the infinite door, and we'll see how we go about integrating whatever we discover in the first half of the reading. And then to close it out, we'll go into part 2, which is the integrate part of the shadow work decks. So, and there will be another question or an affirmation or something that'll help us tie everything together, and then we'll close out the energy from there. I also do have my personal oracles and another tarot deck, just in case the energy calls for it. But if not, these will be what we work with. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. It's gonna start right here. Hope y'all are feeling good, man. This feels like it's a very big and important week. I was telling my Patreon community of that earlier today. Yeah, this week since last night has just felt very, very important. And yeah, there's just been a lot of synchronicities today that kind of supported that feeling. So yeah, I'm excited for this week, and I hope you guys lead your week with so much intention and allow it to be profound and transformative and all the great things. What do you wish someone would have told you as a teenager? What do you wish someone would have told you as a teenager? That's interesting energy. Seems like we're going to be working with our inner teen today. That's always an interesting time. And my phone's a little busted, so if the framing's off on the video, forgive me. Yeah, as somebody who's very into photography and videography, yeah, that stuff's really important to me. So, oh, I thought we had a white card over there. But I'm gonna go into Tarot Restless now. Begin the reading. And if you want to, definitely, if you want to spend some time contemplating this, or if you want to write it down, get some pen and paper and actually answer it, that's more than fine. I definitely encourage journaling and self-exploration always. So definitely, hey, go with as deep as you want with it. Ooh. This deck always feels so charged. Like I feel tingles in the back of my arms, my back, up my spine, the whole nine. Oh, okay, we've got action. Got 7 of Cups. Seven of Swords in reverse. Providence in reverse. Pisces in reverse. Oh, just realized this card's a little indecent, but I'll show you guys. So, 6 of Cups. But I'm gonna get something to cover her up. I don't really care for censorship, but some people might. The algorithms definitely might. So, I'll move this over here for now. A little shell. It's interesting how the middle cards are all reversed. That's one of the first things I notice right now. The middle cards being all reversed, and then, yeah, the ends being upright. And Seven of Cups feels like the first thing I'm feeling is just options, like many options, but the the bleeding eyes through the sheet makes it feel like um, for someone maybe as a teen you weren't empowered to explore all your options or even feel like you had a bunch of options. Like maybe you just were given the typical path laid out before you, like you're gonna do this, you're gonna go to school, then you're gonna go to university, then you're gonna go, um, get a job and make your family, just that straight and path of, what most people do. And and it feels like maybe even then that didn't really feel like it didn't call out to you, feel really exciting, but hey, it was what you were given, and it was laid out to you as that's what you do, like that's what life is. So you went with it, and it feels like now, um, this feels like the sheet has been over you this whole time, and now it's kind of like you're kind of starting to see like there was always options, there was always more that you could have done, there was always more calling out to you. And this card is over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh no, it's off camera, but this card was kind of just laying, like the rest of the deck is straight, but this one was hanging off, so I kind of just want to see what it is. And Cancer, Crab. We'll put it over here with this Pisces card. Big water energies. But yeah, it just feels like now you're starting to see through the illusion a little bit, and being able to see kind of hurts, because like it's easy to feel like, wow, all this time I wasted going on this way, when it's like I knew that there was more for me, but I didn't empower myself. At some point, yeah, you weren't empowered, but despite not being empowered, there's always ways to empower yourself. But as a teenager, that's kind of hard to. It's understandable that you wouldn't have been able to do that, or wouldn't have been strong enough to do that at the time. But now it kind of feels like you're still holding all these desires and wishes and things that actually feel right to you. But now it's kind of like, okay, like your eyes are bleeding. Now you're seeing through. And it's like, now it just feels like it's time to take this sheet off, and to kind of actually look at those cups in your hands and realize that they're still in your hands, like it doesn't matter how much life has been, how much life has unfolded, how much has happened. It's like there's always, every day is a new day, and there's always room to choose differently and to show up differently in your life and in your reality. And it feels like it's just a time of realizing that. And Seven of Swords, I'm just realizing these are two sevens off the rip. And the Seven of Swords in reverse feels like, I don't know, first thing I'm being drawn to is the swords growing out of the ground. But being in reverse, it feels like they're hanging there. And this card now in reverse reminds me of the Hangman. How she's just kind of hanging there suspended, and her feet, it feels like, are tied to the ceiling, like she's holding on. And yeah, it just feels like it's time to think about these things, to also not just know you have a bunch of options and know that you could have done a lot, but now it's time to, okay, how can you integrate that into your life now? How can you allow that realization to actually serve you beyond just feeling bad for yourself or feeling like so much time has been wasted, but actually like actionable steps, and actually allowing yourself to pick up some of these things? Because even though you didn't go any of these directions, as your life is, you're very different than you were then. You have much more experience, and even at the very least, if it's just knowing what you don't want, that's a very valuable experience that will make this new path, should you decide to embark on it, it would allow this new path to be different and be fruitful for you. So now it's like all of these ideas, which they are right now, because they're just concepts at this point. It's like they're all ripe for the picking. They've all grown, and it's like, where do you want to go? And it's like at any point you can go ahead and drop down from this suspension, pick one, and go in that direction, and allow it to lead you wherever it needs to lead you. I'm also being drawn to these roses, and that feels like abundant energy. It feels like a soft energy. It feels like a gift, honestly, more than anything. And it's like understanding that, yes, it has been a long time, but there's so much life left. And it doesn't matter if you're 80, 95 years old. You're seeing this right now for a reason. You're resonant to my energy and the energy of this reading for a reason. So it's like today is day one, you know. Allow this to be the first day of your new life, you know. And it can be that if you allow it to be and you engage with that. And with Providence, I'm going to go ahead and read out the guidebook, The Restless Meditations. Winslow Dumaine, who is the author of this deck, put so much care into the deck and the guidebook and everything, and I really love it so much. So I had every opportunity to go to the guidebook and share. I definitely love to, because each card has a story, and yeah, it's just so much intention. And just alone, this deck is a product of transmutation and alchemy, as he turned, you know, a very hard time and, hey, in ways traumatic time in his life, and he used it to create and allowed it to be beautiful, not by pushing the pain away or, you know, forcing love and light, but embracing what the pain is and making something beautiful out of it, and really holding on to the fact that pain should be embraced and you should hold space for it. And that doesn't mean, you know, yeah, it can be ugly at times, but it also can be beautiful and can be magical and help other people who are also experiencing similar things. So Providence, I'm being drawn to the fact that it's page 132, so that might be significant for somebody. In numerology, that would be seen as a 6, as 1 plus 3 plus 2. Yeah, I'm also hearing equality. But the key words for this card, it says progeny, heredity, termination, and the sacrifices of predecessors. Oh, and that's upright. Okay, so this is reverse. My apologies. Reversed, it says stolen work, credit or valor, acts of redemption, symbolic or otherwise. It says inverted, it refers to the theft of work. Dishonorable interlopers may take claim of things belonging to others, labor to undo them, and set matters straight. So that might be significant for someone, or be telling of something you may be experiencing in your own life right now. But I'm going to read the story. It says, and don't worry about the names and locations that may come up. It's very fleshed out, but just really pay attention to the content of the story more than anything. Long before the stain of man spread over the world, my kind toiled, it's a quote, long before the stain of man spread over the world, my kind toiled to construct the very paradise he would despoil. With their bare hands, my ancestors cut the channels for the rivers to fill and heave the mountains up from the depths. They lived artless, unforgiving lives. Such was their purpose. We are a soulless and terminal species, cursed with no means of continuing our kind. We are of no interest to any God. And first things first, before I continue, it's very interesting that it says, for me, I'm first drawn to, it says, they lived artless, unforgiving lives. Such was their purpose. That feels very aligned to what we were saying as far as just the path of, you know, the traditional life. You do this, you do that, and it's very straightforward. You just live like that. And it's like that living like that can be very artless and unforgiving, honestly. And it's like it's easy to feel like that's just what you're supposed to do. And that sentence, "such was their purpose," feels very profound in that way, as it just aligns to what we were just talking about. But the next paragraph says, "As the world neared completion, my ancestors approached their expiry. Already their aged hearts were failing and their bodies collapsed into dust. As they declined, primitive humanity emerged from the black pools and began to explore their great work. They cut down the forests we had planted and marred the fields with their colonies. Kralish emerged from the distant dark, forged by the arrogance of early men. He claimed the work of my kind as his own and was worshipped for it. My ancestors watched in furious and helpless silence, certain that their final moments were upon them. Yet all was not lost. Though the death curse dictated that they could not breed, they could disassemble themselves to create a single offspring at the cost of 4 aged lives. They did so without question, driving themselves extinct to create their successors. The next generation lived in the shadows, filled with contempt for Kralish and his worshippers. In time, the second generation selflessly gave their lives to create further successors, and the cycle continued. Many generations followed, and our great race was whittled away. Soon there were 4. Now only I remain, the culmination of my species. I have explored the worlds extensively, hidden in the profane dark. Unencumbered by a soul, I slipped through the portals with ease. It was on one of the deep plains that I discovered the fount of obscenity, and from them I created myself anew, bathed in power beyond imagination. I have conquered worlds unknown to man, seizing magic with each victory. I return to the world of man to spill my flesh onto the palaces raised in worship of Kralish, the false demiurge. First his kingdoms fell, soon the mountain himself will be ground into dust. I have been given many names, the devourer of the saints, the conqueror of bulwarks, the end of the west, all true. Ooh, the end of the west feels significant to me right now, just as far as just like Western civilization and just tying back to what has been painted as reality is the way to live your life and it really being very monolithic, um, all true. Yet the highest name came from my ancestors who knew their race would eventually fall to one final offspring. It is with their silent voices I am called the key to the gate. Yeah, that feels very, very resonant. Just as far as just the generations and how the original generation saw this person taking credit for their work, but feeling like they were, their end of the days were coming, there was nothing they could do. And then many generations come and they've, also didn't do anything. And it just feels like that same thing, this path laid out and has been seen as, the American dream for some or just reality as most people would see it. It's like it almost is that way, a generational curse, as it's put on, the people who came before you, whether it be your parents or teachers and things like that, they tell you, and then you go tell your offspring and the people you come across, and it just continues to be this thing of everybody just living this one way, even though um, life can be whatever you make it out to be. And there's people who live all type of different lives and their freedoms and their sovereignty intact. And it doesn't just look like what is put on your plate and pushed as just the one way, And the last sentence saying, it is with their silent voices I am called the key to the gate. It feels like I'm talking to a generational curse breaker. And it's like, even though it may have taken time, you see clearly now. And now you're being asked to come down from the suspension and to move forward. And in that, you'll free everybody. I'm being drawn to, it seems like these feel like jewels to me. It feels like there's a lot of gems and jewels, and there's a key up top and the hand of the ancestors in past generations. And it feels like, yes, they may have lived how they lived, and you up to this point you lived that way too, but it's like now you're free to move forward and to create a life for yourself, and in that you break the curse. The next generation won't have to live that way because you're living proof of what else is out there. And that feels very, very important. And yeah, I created myself anew, bathed in power beyond imagination. And that feels like exactly what this whole reading is calling you to do right now. It's like, now that you understand the truth and understand your truth, move in those knowings and understand that it may not be celebrated, it may not be understood by most, but you still have to do it. And in the end, there won't be any questions, It'll be very clear. It'll be clear as day as you have the success, as you have the results, and then people would simply just ask, oh my God, how'd you do it? And they'll just want to do it for themselves as well. There won't be any explanation, any proving you have to do. The results will be the proof. You are the proof. You are living proof, living the proof, and just feels like, yeah, I'm really glad I went to the guidebook because that feels very, very resonant. And yeah, that's a great reminder always. So yeah, be that curse breaker and understand that, yeah, maybe you didn't know this as a teen when you were making these decisions and going on these paths, but you know now. And there's definitely enough time to go in this new direction and to create all these things for yourself that you see for yourself, and you see them for a reason. You are the one meant to do it. So yeah, you are the key to the gate. So definitely, if that resonates, I want you to kind of remember that. Like, I am the key to the gate, And it's like, through that, you free up your bloodline, you free your lineage, you free everyone, you free the person next to you, your strangers that you come across, because as you are the living proof, people will see and realize that they can do the same thing, and that life can be whatever they make it. And with these cards, I feel like Pisces in reverse just feels like this is the end of a cycle. And Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac, it feels like that's very significant. And these red spots for their eyes reminds me of this card, the red eyes, as you sing through the veil and the illusions. And it just feels like a callback to that. It's like now you see, and your seeing is what ends the cycle. And now it's like you've seen too much to be the same. And Cancer just feels like cardinal energy, as far as just it being, oh man, it being the first sign and of summer. And that just feels like freedom. What does summer feel like, especially as a teen? It's like freedom from school, freedom from the shackles of what's the word, institution. Like you have to go to school because you have to a lot of times, and sometimes you don't even have room to think about whether you like it or not because you just have to deal with it. But in the summer, it's like you're free to be exactly who you are. You're free to do your thing. You're free to play. You're free to imagine. You're free to do all these things. And it feels like as this cycle ends, it's like, where are you going next? That cardinal energy is available for you to go in whatever direction is calling you right now, and you're supported in that. And the Six of Cups and it being upright, it just feels like drinking from, it's interesting that the eyes are covered here and the eyes are covered here, and this person's wearing a mask, and the only person whose eyes are up is the person who's suspended here. And it just feels like the path before you is unseen. It's unknown, it's unpaved. It's kind of whatever you make it and whatever you make of it. And as scary as that can be, it's very freeing, it's very beautiful, because every step of the way will be new. It'll be an experience that isn't just mundane, isn't just easy to be jaded with. You'll be able to really experience the whole spectrum of emotions. You'll experience the fear, you'll experience the excitement, you'll experience the gratitude, you'll experience the doubt, the not being sure, all of that. And it's like, that's the truth of the human experience. You're here to experience it all, the good, bad, and the ugly. And in following a path that's unpaved, you get all of that. And through that, you grow and you become strong as a human, as a soul, as a spirit, in every realm, in every dimension. And this just feels like allowing your passions and your emotions and what really lights you up to lead the way, and drink from it and allow it to nourish your body and allow it to, I'm here and get drunk on it, like really allow yourself to get lost in yourself and what is lighting you up and what's calling you, and allow it to be ugly, if it needs to be. But especially after not doing it for so long, it may be very ugly and it may be very scary, but in the end, these are your cups. And I feel like I was just saying six, the page we were just looking at, six coming up, so six might be very, very significant. June might be significant. Yeah, it just feels very important that you allow yourself to go down the rabbit hole, and no matter what that looks like, and really getting in contact with yourself. And hey, even sit down with that inner team if you need to, write a letter to them, ask them questions, and you can definitely connect to them. Time is the present's all we got, and they live on within you, and all you have to do is connect to that energy, and they're there. So yeah, this feels very nice. I'm excited to get into the infinite door and see how we integrate some of these things and move forward from here, now that we're clear on the energy and where you've been and where you are now, where you find yourself. Here. All these? Okay, I thought they were all in first. You've got Six of Pentacles. Got Nine of Wands. Got Three of Cups. And then, let's see, where do we have from? Put Eight of Pentacles right here. And first things first, I'm being drawn to this Three of Cups here, and it just feels like, first things first, you're being celebrated for even arriving at this point of your awakening, is what I'm hearing, as you're understanding like exactly where you are. And this feels like those past generations that we were just talking about, who weren't able to break these curses, who weren't, I was going to say, weren't able to be the key to the gate, but it wasn't their role, you know, it was yours. And it feels like this is something that was prophesied, that the day would come where you would come and you would be the one. Like, I'm hearing chosen one energy. I'm hearing, yeah, definitely chosen one vibes. And I'm being drawn to how their faces are like cosmic. It's like there's stars in their faces, you know, you can't see them, but they're the galaxy. It's like they're holding cups with flames in them, fire. And it feels like they're definitely celebrating you and they're proud of you. And it may be hard, but you're not alone. You're definitely supported in this journey. And it really is the beginning of a beautiful journey if you allow it to be. So things may feel rocky, or you may feel like you're missing something, or, you know, there might be energy just bubbling up within you. And it's like, it's because there's something for you to do, you know. It's time. And it just feels like you're being celebrated right now as you're transitioning into this next phase of your life. And the Nine of Wands in reverse, it feels like standing your ground, honestly. But it also feels like allowing yourself to be planted, you know, and to stand your ground, but also be open to things looking very different right now, and not needing them to look a certain way for you to continue forward, you know. I keep hearing, allow it to be ugly, allow it to be ugly. And it's like, it might be very scary, you know, especially as knowing you're not getting validated by anyone other than just your own internal feelings. It's like, that's all you need right now. And I'm being drawn to how the highest wand has the hand with the heart on it, you know, and the rest of them are kind of even. It's like, lead with your heart, allow your heart to lead the way, and allow it to be the deepest push within you, you know, allow it to push you more than any outside force, any other voices or anything. Allow your heart to be rooted so deeply into yourself and the core of your being that there is no other option but to follow it and allow it to lead the way and be willing to go wherever it takes you. I'm also being drawn to this grass growing here. It's like, this is a very barren area. It looks like, you know, it doesn't even feel like grass should be able to grow there, but it's growing right where they're standing, where they're planted, where their heart is leading the way. And it's like, you're gonna see fruit in places where there was none. You're gonna see things start to grow, hey, in your family where there may have been no growth. You know, it may have been stagnant, or everybody's just kind of the same. You're gonna see things become different and change, and abundance flow in places where you didn't even know, where they didn't even know was possible, you know. But it's like, you have to lead the way. You have to trust yourself and understand that they may not see it because it's not there for them to see it, you know. So they will see it as the fruit come in, and, you know, as the tree is there, and it's like they can't be ignored anymore. But that doesn't mean you don't plant the seeds, because, you know, they don't believe that a tree can grow there, you know. It's like, it's on you to grow it, and then from there it'll be obvious and there won't be anything to explain, like I said. And then we've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and this feels like, I think the tides have turned, you know, because right side up, it's like this hand from the divine, you know, it's a golden hand giving to you. But now it's like, it's time for you to turn and give. It's like, you're being put in position. Now you've learned, now you understand. It's time for you to lead the way now, you know, as you realize, like, okay, the people who I've trusted to kind of guide me and who have been putting me on this path and who've told me everything I know, like, I'm at the point now where I've outgrown that guidance, you know, and now it's my turn to lead, and then, you know, come back and share my wisdom, share the things I've learned, and pave the way. And it's like, things are being turned now, and now it's your role to embrace. And it feels like in this, there's so much abundance that is here for you, that will continue to unfold for you, and you will be blessed and supported, and you'll have all the resources you need to carry out your mission. And you're being asked to share. And even if there's people who've, you know, not to get lost in the ego, as people who may have put you down before come to you asking for guidance and help, understand that it was always your role, you know, and they played a role in getting you to exactly where you are. It doesn't matter how bad they were, how, you know, traumatized they may have left you, or how mean they might have been to you. Understand that everything led you to exactly where you are now, and led to your awakening, and led to you um, being poised and perfect for this transition. I'm hearing what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And that doesn't mean, you have to make them all be personal besties and all that. But if they are extending their hand and wanting to learn and wanting to grow and wanting to change and all that, hey, meet them where they're at. And if their intentions aren't pure, that'll reveal itself. But at the point they actually do want to do it, hey, your light is meant to be shined on those who are willing to embrace it. Um, and I get that you're a person where humility runs deep. So I feel like naturally that's just who you are anyway. But it's a reminder to understand that there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you a sucker. That doesn't make you a pushover or anything like that. It makes you very strong to sit there and help those who once, had no help for you, and that's okay. And understand that your payment and your accolades and everything come from a way higher place than they could even imagine. So it's not on them to give you your flowers, because the universe, your higher self, all that give you whole forests, whole trees, whole everything. You are the flowers, so your existence are the flowers. So help those who need it, give where you can, and continue, and understand that your abundance is your own, and you are abundance. And this Eight of Pentacles in reverse, there's the double Pentacle energy feels very significant as well, especially them being even from going from 6 to 8. And I'm also hearing August might be significant as well, whether that be timing or whether that just be someone's birth month or just an energy in general. But yeah, this Eight of Pentacles feels like play, and allowing your work to feel like play. And the fact that it's in reverse feels like, notice the contrast of how this new direction, once you embark on this new direction, and notice the contrast of how that feels versus how the work you were doing before felt, and the path you were on before felt. Because aligned action, aligned work, and aligned purpose should feel like play more than it feels like work. Not to say that's easy or it's whatever, it's just light, but it should feel like, it should still feel fruitful and feel more like challenge, more than this hard thing that you keep having to push yourself to go do, or like force yourself to go do against the natural flow of things. Like there should be a flow there, and it may be challenging, but it feels like growth, and it feels like a challenge you chose. It's like, if it doesn't feel like that, that's information right there. Like, okay, this might not be aligned for me, because the things that I'm meant to do should feel like I'm meant to do them, not that I'm forcing myself or I have to do it or all these things, and that's beautiful. And it just feels like you have everything you need to move forward, and anything you don't have, you don't need, or when it's time for you, when you need it, it will present itself, it will be there. And you have enough to take the first steps forward. You don't have to have it all planned out. And that's not to say just go blow up your life, and just go in this new direction, but set the intention that that's where you're headed, and as opportunities allow yourself to move in that direction, do it and take the first steps. If that means like learning something new, hey, look into it. Start that first Google search. Start to write about it. Get a notebook specifically to write notes and intentions towards that end, or whatever feels right and resonant. But yeah, you're definitely being called to start moving in that direction. And even if you only see one step, take that one step and understand that you'll see the next one. You'll see the next one. Hey, you might see the next 5, next 10, but you have to get some momentum going in that direction and start the inertia moving in that direction. I'm being called to check the bottom of this, and yeah, look. You got Ace of Cups. Got Ace of Cups on the bottom, and under that we have the Sun. And then this will be the last one I take, but the Hierophant and the Page of Pentacles on the bottom also feels like it's it feels like a new direction in the field of career, and in your material world, and how you create abundance for yourself, and the structures and in which that you've been building your life. And that feels very resonant, because that's exactly what it's felt like it's pertaining to. It feels very career oriented, job oriented, purpose oriented. And the Hierophant in reverse feels like I'm gonna put this under these two, but the Hierophant in reverse feels like turning institutions on their head, and not necessarily going in the traditional route, but moving in a direction that's specific for you and that feels very aligned for you, more so than just what feels like what you're supposed to do or what feels like is generally accepted and understood by everyone. And this feels like the keys to the gate again, being presented to themselves. And yeah, this just really feels like turning institutions and structures on their head and going in a direction that may not, like I said, the unpaved road. But the Ace of Cups feels like an opportunity to follow your heart, man. The hand coming in from the cosmos, coming right through this sky depiction here. And I'm also feeling the High Priestess energies as well. It's like, trust your inner world, and this is an opportunity to allow your inner world to lead the way. And I'm hearing like measuring your heart against the weight of a feather and allowing your heart to be lighter than a feather. And the way this feather is just kind of floating here, and the waters are kind of defying gravity by coming, like, look, how are they coming out up and then out the cups? It's like, you're absolutely magical. It's like, if you just rely on what you feel like is real and what's generally accepted as possible, you're going to limit yourself a lot, because a majority of our experience is the unseen. The only reason you're able to live right now is because you're breathing oxygen, right? But it's like, you can't see the oxygen around here, but there's oxygen present as you're still breathing. But that doesn't make it any less real because you can't see it. That doesn't make this card more real than the air you're breathing because you can see the card. So it's like, a majority of our experience is unseen. A majority of our experience is in the darkness. And so it's like, have faith in magic, have faith in miracles, have faith in yourself and your magic, and the fact that you are a miracle. The fact that you exist here exactly when you exist here is a miracle. Like they say, we're all living on a floating rock in space, and we're over here paying bills and stuff. It's like, you are magical. There's nothing regular or mundane about our entire existence here. Like, oh man, we could talk about that all day, but it's like, you're literally a miracle. So don't expect your life, or don't feel like your life can't be one, or like you can't experience them, when it's like, your existence is all the proof you need. Like I said, you're living proof, living the proof. And the sun just feels like an opportunity to, the baby being in the sun feels like you're giving birth to something new here. It's like, all these forces are meeting here, and all roads led to this point, to your new life and to your new way of existing now. And it's like, allow yourself to be a baby, allow yourself to be new, because you're in a whole new world. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're 97. It's like, today's a whole new day and you're here for a reason. And it's like, it's time to give birth. You've been growing this, and all roads led here. The galaxy, we got physical, we got the dark and the light, everything present here. It's like, it all led it here, and they all gave energy and gave light to this being that was growing this whole time. It doesn't matter what role they played in your life, or what role it played in your life, whether it be people, places, or things, good, bad, and ugly. It all led to exactly where you are. And without all of it playing the exact role it played, it doesn't matter if it was just one person who cut you off in traffic one time 13 years ago that you completely forgot about. It's like, that all played a role in your life. Like, I'm hearing the butterfly effect, so that might be significant as well. And it's like, if you change, oh wow, and as I say that, I look, and this is the from the shadow work deck on the back, I saw the butterfly. It's like, you can't make this up, man. You are literal magic. And it's like, there's no coincidence. All roads led here, and now it's time to give birth to this whole new way of life. And so you are the key to the gate, man. This reading has been very, very cohesive, and yeah, I'm so grateful, man. And if you made it to this point, you're certainly special, and you're here for a reason, man. You didn't sit here and resonate with all this energy just to just leave here and feel like, everything's just normal. It's not. You're literally in the middle of the greatest story ever told, pure magic right now. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pull this integration card, close out the energy, and allow you to integrate into, you got some things to think about, you got some inner self-exploration to go do. But yeah, definitely, before we end it, definitely go ahead and like, subscribe, share with somebody. If you feel called to, join us on Patreon, man. This is the type of stuff we're doing. We're always doing the work, and these shadow work decks and stuff is what I typically use for shadow work that we do over there, or because we're always doing the growth. We're not just, I don't just do readings and leave it there. It's like, we're always focused on integration and growth and actually putting the work in and actually actualizing and meeting the universe halfway in these energies. We don't sit around and just wait on things to just fall into our lap. Because yeah, some things will too, but imagine the things that come into your life when you meet the universe halfway. This is a co-creation. So yeah, if you feel called to, definitely join the Patreon, subscribe to the channel, whatever. But yeah, know that I'm always about doing the work, and I'm always here to be a light and to lead by example and to share. So I really appreciate you, especially if you made it to this point, because I know it's not easy to sit in this energy and really just hold space for it. So I hope you know that you're very, very special, and I appreciate you. And it's been an honor to navigate this energy and to reflect it for you. So I love you, and I'm very, very proud of you, and I'm excited. Definitely, if this resonates, let me know. I would love to keep up with your journey and see where this leads, because you're a very big deal, and I would love to see your story and to continue to walk alongside you. It is a path to self, and there is only room for one, but hey, our paths can definitely run side by side, and they do. So I was wondering when these cards were going to come out, or if they were just waiting for me to finish talking, but that just lets me know that it was all important to be said, because I was definitely done. But 3 cards came out, so I'm going to honor them. First one, what makes you feel the happiest, and how can you move towards that happiness right now? And that feels very resonant to what we're talking about. It's like, now that you understand that there's so many paths out there, what path lights you up? What makes you feel happy? This one fell, it's in reverse, so I'm gonna read it and then we'll see if it makes sense to leave it in reverse. It says, how have you experienced rejection? How can you show rejected parts of yourself love and acceptance? Yeah, this feels like it makes sense why it was in reverse, because it's like, those things are illusions, It's like you're perfect exactly how you are. You at every stage you've been exactly who you needed to be. It doesn't matter how good, bad, or ugly it was. All roads led to you to here. So they should all be loved and accepted as part of your story, just as you accept the good things without thinking about them, But how have you experienced rejection? How can you show rejected parts of yourself love and acceptance? It's like, yeah, if you feel called to, definitely journal on these things, man. I'm definitely a big journal. Like I said, I'm a journal advocate. It's always room to do some self-exploration. And the last one says, what do you believe is the most authentic version of yourself right now? Wow. What do you believe is the most authentic version of yourself right now? And that definitely ties up the entire reading. It's like, get clear on these things, because that's the direction you're moving in right now. It's definitely the direction you're moving in right now. So it's important to kind of identify all these things before you just kind of carry on, so you can move with intention. Like, we're in Aries season right now. We're in a 1 year right now, the year of the fire horse right now. We got a new moon coming up on Sunday in Aries. Like, there's so much new beginning energy here right now. Yeah, and I'm even being drawn to, like, that's tropical astrology, but if you subscribe more to sidereal astrology, it's the Pisces season, and it's ending. It's a bunch of endings, but it's like endings and beginnings are one, It's that cycle, and I'm being drawn to this. It's like, it's a cycle. They're very much connected. So either way, get clear on where you are right now and understand that things are ending and things are beginning all at the same time. And for that, you need to be very, very clear on who you are, where you are in your journey, what's unfolding for you, and what you're being called to do, and where to go, so you can make space for these things, recognize opportunities when they present themselves, and all that. And I'm being drawn to put this here for you. It's like, clear the fog, embrace the truth. It's a mirror. It's like, it came with the shadow work deck. But yeah, you're a very special person, and I hope you're very clear on that. And if you're not, that you can spend some time engaging with yourself, so you can see it and connect to that part of you that understands that that's the truth, because it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. Actually, I'm feeling called to pull one of my oracle cards, but I'll leave it there. Literally just one, and I'm gonna let y'all go. But I'm seeing Virgo right now, so that might be significant. Might be somebody's sign. Or we saw, I was saying August was significant earlier, and I know that's when Virgo season starts. So hey, could be something planning to unfold in August, at the end of August for someone. Magic. It's like, you are magical. You are literal magic. I know I said one, but pink came out, and then we got Capricorn on the bottom. And pink just feels like be soft with yourself in this. Allow these things to play out how they need to play out, and don't pressure yourself too much to get it all right. Because like we said, this is a whole new direction. So allow yourself to be new. Allow yourself to be a baby. And okay, dang. See, that's why I didn't want to pull these out, because I pull these out and they just keep talking. But yeah, these were on the bottom. This was Capricorn, which I showed you. And then build, and those feel like they go together. Capricorn being another cardinal sign. We had Cancer earlier, cardinal water. We got cardinal earth here now. And it's like build. It feels like you're creating your world right now, and you have the go ahead to build your world however you see fit now, and in a way that feels more aligned to you. And it's like right now you have to embrace, you have to do these things and really figure out who you are and see yourself clearly, understand what you want and all that. And then from there, you have the full green light to go ahead and rebuild your world and to build it however you like it and however feels right to you, and that you will be supported in that. And follow the love just feels like part of that same message. It's like follow what feels like love. Follow what feels like you, that makes your heart thump. Like we saw the card with the heart and the hand earlier. It's like, hey, lead with your heart in your hand. Allow it to be your compass. Now I'm seeing like a compass, in the hand, and you kind of look at it, you kind of follow the direction, and it just feels like allow your heart to be that, like look at it and be like, okay, my heart's pointing in this direction to this person, or it's pointing in this direction to this thing, like big or small, and allow that to be your compass, because it is. And through that, you'll get to all of this. You'll get to everything that's waiting for you. And there's so much waiting for you, man. And I'm excited. It's definitely your time now, and it's time period. So yeah, I'm excited for you, and I love you. I'm gonna leave it here because I could spend all day in this energy. It feels so free, and it feels so abundant. Oh, I just heard Matthew in my head, so that might be somebody's name. Yeah, that might be somebody's name or somebody you know. Or hey, I'm also hearing the Bible. The I don't want to say character, but I guess the character, Matthew from the Bible, or the chapter, or not the chapter, the book of the Bible. Yeah, that could be significant in so many different ways, but I definitely just heard that very loud. So yeah, yeah, I love you, and I'll let it rest here. So it's been Mark. Thank you. I appreciate this, and I'm glad that I was able to exchange some energy with you today. I definitely felt called to come give this reading, and yeah, I'm very grateful that I did, because it was a great one. So I love you. Be safe and keep living. Follow the love, and have a great day and a great week on purpose, because you always have a choice. It's your world, So be safe, and I'm out of here. Hey, that was a heart. All right. Bye.